use the Swiss chard that I told you about. Then it kind of reminds you of like a dinosaur skin. But yeah, these stalks here, they're really good to eat. And you just chop them up like you do with your leaf. Put them in a pan and say, "Thank you, ma'am." They're huge. Anyway, how to show you. So I went early this week, a couple of days ago, and bought our plants. And I just set them up in the kitchen. I've got like a little lamp here, sun lamp. This is cherry tomato that I'll talk to you more about when we're planting it. But here's all of our plants. Plus, that was a really good investment, though. We knew with our dog that we wanted a place where he could run, and it's quite a big backyard, considering. But yeah, here you can see I trimmed back the eggplant. Whacked it back a little bit. Some people may say, "Oh, you did that wrong," but you know, it grows like a weed. So I think we didn't harm it at all. If anything, we gave it back some of the nutrients where it needs to go by trimming it. So as you can also see, we're getting blossoms. Aren't those beautiful? So over here, what I want to do is I want to take a shovel. I'm going to mix up the dirt, get some more air back into it, level it off, and then I'm going to put the plants where I want to plant them. My mom's going to come out later. She's 83, I think. I can't remember. But I'm going to have her put in rows of beans, green beans. We prefer the Popular brand. Popular? No. It's called Provider. That's the type of green bean that we use. And like I said earlier, and I'm going to post down in the description the season, the playlist where we did this, but I took this whole bed and we took 4 different varieties and planted them. And then we let them grow and harvest. And we took the one that produced the best and produced quicker, produced more, and that was the Provider bean. We tried the Kentucky. We had Blue Lake Blue, something along that line. We had Provider, and we had Contender. And Contender was close, but Provider just... Contender has more of a curly bean, and the pods are a little bit thicker, so when you cook them, they're not as pleasant to eat. And I kind of wondered if they were more of a shucking bean, where you're trying to just grow them for the beans inside of the pod. The Provider, though, those were not big, but they were just the right size, and they were always straight. And cooking them and eating them was just delicious. So that's what we plant. It's what we recommend. So anyway, we're going to have 2 bell peppers on either side. Green bell pepper, orange bell pepper, and then we're going to do rows of beans. Now, we probably don't have enough to do the full planting, my mom went in and she bought like 200 more seeds. So I don't know when they'll get here. We'll just finish up the rows that we want to do after that. We're going to have the eggplant. I always do a cherry tomato, and then I do 2 other plants, tomato plants. This is my zucchini patch. I went and I bought some manure, and I'm just going to spread some manure out and dig that into the soil. And actually, just doing the 2 zucchinis last season, we got plenty. I'm also going to put some eggshell, ground eggshell in here, and especially in the holes that I dig for the tomatoes and for the zucchini. They're going to help with end rot. That extra calcium helps out a lot. And I did that in the fall, and I got no end rot on my vegetables. So save your eggshells and smash them up. Here's our son today. Not doing anything with the peppers. The peppers are great. I am going to mix some more manure in here because I want to grow some beets. And then here's our Swiss chard. I did cut it back. It grows like a weed, so we'll probably have another cutting by this next weekend. And then over here we're going to do broccoli and cauliflower, and then we're going to broadcast dill seed. And there's our dog. Okay, gotta get started. I don't have a GoPro. I'm trying to look into getting one. Whoops, sorry, shaking. So that I can have something stationary and have scenes where you can see us working, doing this. So unfortunately, all I can do is do like a before and after and intertwine it with maybe some other bits where I want to stop and show you something. So, see you in a minute. I didn't tell you, but I did buy a bunch of marigolds. These will be good to intermix within your garden to help with insects and keep the bugs away because they really don't like the smell. But I went to Lowe's and they have pallets of 12 and each container was like $2 each. It was on sale. So for $48, I got all that. And here's our strawberry and my parsley. Okay, bye. Okay, so for the bean one, we have green bell peppers and orange bell peppers. And I was going to split them. I was going to do bell peppers here and bell peppers over there. But my mom had a good suggestion. Since they both need full sunlight, at least 6 hours or more, we'll put them on this side and they'll get the sunlight. You see how it slopes? The sun's coming from that direction, right over here. So as the sun gets up more, it's going to hit over here first. So this will get full sunlight more than this area right here. So we're gonna do our rows of green beans here and not go totally against the wall, maybe back off a little bit. I have some marigolds that I showed you earlier. We could plant a few there, maybe plant a few in here too. So anyway, that's the first bed.
That you wouldn't be able to find something if everybody else discovers it.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's my mom. We're planting green beans. Hey, ingenuity. We brought the patio furniture over for her.
Puts me at eye level.
Yeah.
If I get any shorter, my nose will be in the ground.
And here's the green bell pepper. We did the orange. We gave it some space because, man, these things bush out. We put a row of marigolds. We might find if we do this again, the beans get bushy and the bell peppers get bushy, but according to Mom, these will get really big and tall, so they've got a fighting chance. But what we did was we did our row, as you can see here. We're doing it a little bit deeper. Before we only did it an inch deep, and it seemed like they either washed up or critters got after them, and so we lost a lot of seeds. So we're going to do it deeper so the plant has enough time to germinate, secure the roots, and then start to pop up the leaves. And we're putting we got these packets of little flags, and you can actually write on them with a permanent marker. So if you're doing a row of onions or a row of beets or beans or whatever, you can just write the name on it, make your own little, they're called Mr. Pin plant labels, and I'll put those out there in the description as well for you. So Mom's done with that piece, and then you just take and you move the dirt on top of it, give it a light pat. And then what I'm going to do, as you can see here, I put this close to where this is. And actually, if I move it over a smidget more, so it's in between these two rows, we can get enough water down there for both of them. Just with one, and this is a soaker hose. And the soaker hose, and I'll put this in description, looks like this. Comes in a roll. Just cut off your desired piece, hook it up like that.
And if they have a large enough garden, they can use the bigger soaker hoses too.
That's true. Very true. These are a 1/4 inch. All my fittings are a 1/4 inch. Sorry. I'm having to do this by my phone, so. So the next one, we'll take one of these guys. And we want to go in between these rows here. But I don't want to bend this too much, or it'll start probably causing a weakness that makes the water spurt everywhere. I'm going to take it and gently, might help if you saw what I was doing, gently come down here. And we've got tons of slack, so we can even push this up a little bit so it's not much tension on it. And then I take, and I'll put these in the description too, you take one of these hooks, and right up here is where you fasten onto your soaker hose, and it just fits right into place. So you can come down here, we want to put it here, and we're going to just
There went my spares.
clip that in place. There we go. And there you have it. Here we go. So that's basically how we're doing it. I'll go ahead and finish the last 2 rows, and then I'll put in the marigolds, and we'll be done with that part. Okay. You can purchase the eggshell fertilizer this way, and all it is finely ground eggshells. 9% calcium, 6% magnesium, 1% phosphorus. And of course, there's a cost for buying it and then shipping it. Or you can take your eggshells. So every time you make eggs, just save it. I clean it underwater to take out the membrane inside the egg. And then I just lay it on a paper towel and let it dry. Collect it in a bag. And then all you do later is you go in and you crunch it down until you can get, and you can use your blender and you get a powder. And you could broadcast it over your whole lawn, your whole garden bed. Or what I do is I just, dig my hole where I'm going to plant it and then put my calcium stuff there. And maybe a little bit around the hole. So I'm not having to use as much, and it'll go a long way further. Tips. This is a good way to put your mom to work.
I'm tap dancing.
There you go. Smash those grapes.
I don't think they want my shoes in their wine.
No, she's smashing the shells for me. Okay, we're in the tomato area where the eggplant is. I've already dug the holes, so there's a tomato going into here, and my cherry tomatoes are going right there. Now, at Lowe's, this seemed to be the best that they had to offer, the big beef tomatoes. Now, these are indeterminate, which means that they will supposedly bloom and provide fruit throughout the season, right? Where determinate means, okay, everybody, we're going to produce tomatoes today.
They get so tall, we're not going to continue to grow in order to produce more.
Right. So get to know that term, because that's important when you pick out your plants. Here's the holes that I dug. The soil is so good. And again, I'll put it in the description. We purchased mulch. It's basically kind of like straw hay or straw. And we had put that down last season. It really did a great job. Especially in the desert, you need the mulch to be able to hold the moisture down where your plant is, so that the sun just doesn't evaporate all of your water out of the soil. It keeps it there for the plant. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, again, eggshell. They call it fertilizer, it's just powder, and I'm going to put a little bit in each one of these holes before I put the plant in there. And again, that helps get calcium into your vegetables, especially tomatoes and zucchini. They recommend that so that you don't get what's it called? End rot. And it's basically your fruit. Yeah, where your blossom was. Your fruit comes on, it looks like it's going to be oh so pretty, and then all of a sudden the end of your fruit starts to turn like orange, and it just rots. So it ends up being something you don't want to harvest and eat. So we're going to do it. Well, there's the tomatoes. They're put in. This one cherry tomato is going to need some alone time. It's a little droopy. I gave it some water, and it's going to be partially shaded by this guy and the eggplant, so hopefully that will give it some time to gain its strength again. I wanted this variety. It's a super sweet 100 because it grows well in zone 9 where we're at, and the fruit actually that it produces will be sweeter than your normal cherry tomato. here's this. You can see the peppers, a little droopsy, and Mom said that's because they're getting acclimated to the not being indoors. They're outdoors now, so they're getting their sun. And I just gave them a little water. Just be patient. They'll be back. Now, if it gets too hot today, we have some frost cloth that we can put, like, it's white meshy. We could put it over it to give it some time to acclimate and maybe not get punched in the face with all of the sun and heat at one time. We could drape a piece up over the tomatoes as well. And then going to do the zucchini next. We've got where we can put a cloth over that. This I'm not concerned with. This has been getting the full sun, 80s and 90 temps, and they're doing fine. So that's where we're at. I'm going to drop these in real quick, and I'll be back. Okay, Monday morning, finally finished. Yeah, I know, I'm doing a video. Mom's down there planting beets. She didn't know I was videoing. So here is the bell peppers. I put up this little thing to kind of block the midday sun, which helped them a lot. They were drippy yesterday. Then we've got some marigolds on either side, and there's beans planted here. Got the eggplant, and our cherry tomato picked back up. It's looking good. And then our two big beefs, I guess what they're called. And here's zucchinis right there and right there. They really bush out, and I did all along the edge here. It's a little blurry. Sorry about that. Magnolia. Marigolds. I don't know why I call them magnolias. And then there's our sun, made out of plywood. The guy at CVS Pharmacy that we go to, the manager, he builds these and his wife paints them. So I said, oh, I'll take one. Really cute. Then you guys know the pepper drill. There's Mom. She's planting some beets.
I hope I put some in this row. I couldn't remember. I'm working with old things here. So anyway, I covered it up. So
that's fine. I'm good.
If nothing comes up there, that's the reason.
I'll need to drill in a couple of dripper hoses. We need to get a couple more parts in the mail, and then I'll be set to do that. And then over here is 3 marigolds, and then here's our broccoli. And then here's our cauliflower and marigolds. And Mom broadcasted dill seed in here. So we got soaker hoses that are going to keep the ground wet. So that's it. We did it. So after these 2 starter videos, what I'm going to be doing is a video every week on the weekend showing you the progress that they're doing. During this time towards the end of our garden, I'll be also providing pictures of our yield. So, one last thing. I did plant in our basil. This lasted through the 2 weeks of winter that we had. And the strawberry plant. And then over here, Mom is going to plant some radishes for us. Probably tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And thanks for joining in on this adventure. We'll see you next time.